It's your turn. It's time to take your power back, be in charge of your life, and write the future that you desire. If you are ready for change, if you are ready to move forward in a life that you love, this is the episode for you. My name is Henry. Welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast, where we come together to raise our vibration, lift our perspective, and build that positive mindset. I'm so thankful for each and every one of you to come today because this episode is going to be an interesting one. I have been recording this way on the phone, just directly, no mic, no music, just completely raw, unfiltered, can't edit. And through this, I'm learning new things. And I even learned something about this app that people can send me voice messages. I don't know where it's promoted. I don't know where they got it from, but for some reason, I have voice messages from people. And there was a message that was from January of last year, where somebody was going through something really difficult. It had to do with a custody battle, had to do with taking control of their life, being surrounded by the other family is very difficult. In this episode, we're going to talk about how to make this shift. Even if you've been victimized, even if you've gone through things, to shift out of that mindset, to shift out of the hurt, out of the pain, out of the position where you can't see a way out. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to start with some deep breaths. These are to help us align on a frequency to charge ourselves up. So you're going to pick a word. It could be love, joy, happiness, abundance, whatever frequency you want. You're going to take a deep breath in, and as you're breathing in, you're going to say this word over and over and over again. You're just going to charge yourself up with this energy. And then as you're holding your breath, visualize yourself doing something in that frequency. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you, and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. We're going to take another deep breath. This one's about alignment. This one's about setting our perspective high so that we can see the path forward, so that we can see the way that we need to go, so that we can become the person that we need to become to walk that path. So the word is going to be perspective. As we breathe in, you're going to say the word perspective over and over. Perspective, perspective, perspective. Really visualize that word in your mind. As you hold your breath, I'm going to speak some words around perspective that will help you align yourself. Get your mind set on that frequency that you can perceive with perspective to help you through whatever it is that you're going through. And when we exhale at the end, allow anything that doesn't resonate with you anymore to leave you, and we're going to move forward with perspective into the message. So go ahead and take that deep breath in. Perspective will set you free. Perspective is your power. You have the ability to see and receive as you desire because you have perspective. And exhale. Well, as I said, I'm very thankful for this topic. I'm thankful for the message a year ago that inspired it because so many people are probably feeling this exact way. Wherever you look, whatever it is that you're going through, difficulties with family, difficulties with work, difficulties with the economy, all these stressors, you're wondering, how can it get better? How can I move into a life where I don't have these pains? How can I move on for this? How can I experience a life of joy? We're going to become that version of ourselves with this, with perspective. You see, you cannot receive what you cannot perceive. So if you can't see it in the world, you will not receive it. Your body, your mind is a filter. What your true self is, your energy, your soul, your spirit, experiences this world through that filter. That filter allows it to see and it allows it to receive because it's not the thing, it's the feeling that we truly desire. We don't want $1 million. We want to know what it's like to feel like we have $1 million, to not have to feel the pain of the bills, to not have to feel the pain of the high-priced things because you have that $1 million. It's the feeling, the comfort, the love, all of that comes with it. That's what we're after, is feeling. So this filter with that we can adjust. We can adjust it by changing our mindset, because our mindset is what sets what we're able to perceive. The frequency that your mind is set on allows you to see and perceive. And since you have the gift of perspective, you can rise as high as you need to. You have that gift. Perspective will set you free. You do not have to see from your current state. If you can see from a different state, then you can receive from a different state. So the external world around you doesn't need to change. You get to change. That's the gift that this is. I'm not going to say this perfectly, but I was talking about it with a client earlier today. And that in the Bible, and really in a lot of religious teachings, it's taught to turn towards God, towards the self, towards that energy, towards the highest frequency, whatever that is to you. But it's taught to turn to God, not to turn to the things that we go to, the crutches, the things that we need to get by, not to turn to those, but turn to God. So if that's what it's telling you, there must be a reason for that. Because as you perceive, you will receive. So if you turn to God in every situation, that's what you'll receive. You see, the external world, you're asking that to change. You want your situation to change. You want this to ease up. So you're looking for the salvation or the solution or the healing in the world where it's not there. It's the feeling that you need. And so in these teachings, the feeling is within. It's turning to God, not to the thing to alleviate. So if you were born with an easy life, you would never turn to God. You would never turn to the highest energy. Because you would need to, because there's so much comfort in the current experience. So if you're a being, a powerful soul, a spirit, an energy that wants to get closer to God, it would make sense that you would pick a life where it's difficult to do so. Because the life is so hard. Why would there be a God? Why would there be the universe? Why would there be anything beyond this if all these terrible things are happening to me? Because what did I do? I'm a good person. Why would that happen? And so all these things that you're going through, these experiences are generating feelings that are making it hard for you not to try to solve the feeling. You're trying to solve the feeling. And that's where you need to shift to God, to your soul, to your energy. And now you might be wondering, well, what does that mean? How do I do that? How do I turn to God? How do I move past this? It's to shift to see it from a perspective where you can see the good in it. That's the path. So whatever your situation is, look further away. Zoom out beyond you. What is the good that can come from your situation? Zoom out far enough to where you can find some good, even if it doesn't affect you. So if the good you find will have no benefit to you, but you can still find the good, you can still have the gratitude for the good, even though it doesn't benefit you, then you become that energy. Because as you see or as you perceive, you will receive. That's turning to God. God is love. So turn to it in all situations. The hard things that you're facing, where 9 out of 10 things in your life are bad, only allow the one good into your life. Only expand the one good. It doesn't mean you ignore the bad. You just don't receive the bad. You might feel it, but that's not what you speak about. You might have to deal with it, but that's not what you think about. That's how it goes. You don't give the attention to it beyond what is mandatory. Your energy goes, or wherever your energy focuses on is where your energy flows. That is what turning to God is. It's always finding the light in every situation and then being the example of it, operating in the peace of it, living and existing in what it is. That's what you do. That's how you rise up. That's how you remove the barriers of what's in front of you. You don't have to defeat them. You don't have to solve them. You just have to realize that you are not them. So many of us get stuck into thinking that's what we are, this pain that we're dealing with. I'm a trauma survivor. I'm this, I'm that. We define ourselves with those things, and then we try to defeat those things, and it's impossible because then we continually redefine ourselves as those things because it's what we're focusing on, so we're creating more of it. But you're everything at once. There is no separation of anything. It's just what you focus on is what becomes your experience. So when you remove the focus from that and you move it to the good, to the love, no matter how hard it is to find, no matter how distant its effect to you would be, when you connect to it, show gratitude for it and expand it into the world by speaking about it, by thinking about it, by writing about it, by dreaming about it, That's how you expand it into the world. You becoming what it is. That's turning to God. When you do that, you'll no longer care about the obstacles in your life because they won't matter, because you'll know what you truly are. You are a part of God. You are the extension of that. Whether you think that you're a soul that was created, an angel, whatever it is, you will realize there's more to you than just this life, and that you can shift your experience into what you need to. That's how you free yourself. That's how you handle the difficult situations. You just adopt and take that mindset to heart, and it will change you. It will free you. Perspective is your way out. So raise your perspective and become the rising tide that lifts all ships. Well, thank you so much for listening. I hope that episode was impactful and gave you a positive perspective on whatever it is that you're going through. That was a tough one to make, I'll be honest. To do that in one take, I knew it was like a daunting message to get across. I think I was stumbling with my words right in the beginning, because doing it this way, I have to do it in one take. I'm enjoying it because by doing it in one take, you're really hearing me work through a thought, and it's putting pressure on me to work through the thought, knowing that so many of you are going to hear it because I cannot edit out. So I hope you are enjoying it. I hope it provides a different perspective, understanding, because there's definitely some vulnerability when doing it, just sharing your mistakes, saying words incorrectly or breathing too loud or whatever it may be, but really also showing the freshness of understanding, so that we can become what it is that we're trying to be. If you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link down below. It will keep you up to date with every single episode. And if you want to follow me on social media, there's my Instagram and TikTok down below. I appreciate everybody that's followed me there. There's been a uptick of people following me on Instagram, so I appreciate it. Feel free to say hi. I appreciate it when someone follows, of course, but sometimes when someone sends me a message, it means a lot. How a message or how a podcast may have helped you or inspired you. I don't really share them with anybody unless you do it like publicly, then I'll reshare it or something like that. But those always mean a lot to me, and they really help mold the podcast, and that's where I knew what I needed to do for this year. So the guidance that you all provide with that feedback means so much to me, so I really appreciate it. We're going to end on a final deep breath. We're going to take that last deep breath in, and we're going to really charge ourselves up with the word perspective. As you're breathing in, you're going to say perspective over and over and over again. Really charge yourself up with that energy. As we hold our breaths, I'm going to say some positive words around perspective over and over and over again. Really charge us up with them. Really see what I'm saying. Try to say what I'm saying in your mind. And as we exhale, anything that doesn't resonate with perspective, we're going to allow it to leave us. And we're going to move forward into the day with a powerful perspective. So go ahead and take that final deep breath in. You have perspective. You can see beyond self. You are free to view the world and find the love that you deserve and spread it because you have perspective. And exhale.